You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by becoming one of those. This is for Bianco Magic Wizard, who says, Yo! Best and worst hotel experiences. Thanks. Oh man, what is my best hotel experience? Because I've stayed in, well, I guess probably when I went to Crunchyroll Expo, because they put me in, like, a pretty serious room. Like, I've only once been in a hotel room that had multiple, like, parts, which is really ironic, because, like, I've been to a lot of hotels for going to conventions and usually shared a room with a bunch of people. So, like, every year that I went to Otakon, there was, like, 7 dudes in the room, you know, like, 2 to a bed, 3 on the floor kind of thing. And usually we just pick the cheapest one possible. I've been to the Red Roof outside Baltimore several times. There's a Motel 6, which is my worst hotel experience because it had bed bugs. And I remember that I had, like, woken up in the middle of the night, like, for just a second, and thought that I saw what looked like a bug on my arm, and maybe I flicked it off or something. But I ended up getting eaten up, and, like, I had to put all this shit on myself, and, like, I was fucking, like, nauseous for, like, days. Like, I felt like shit after getting all these bug bites. Thankfully, I didn't track any home with me, but I do not do Motel 6 anymore. I make sure I don't go to anything quite that cheap and shitty. I've had some okay hotel experiences, been to some slightly higher end ones, you know, some stuff that's, like, just in the city, generally, but, like, at Crunchyroll Expo, they put me in a room that had, like, a fucking king-size bed in one room, and then there was, like, a living room area with a TV and a hallway to the bathroom. It felt like I was in an apartment, and I was completely by myself. It was, like, the one time ever that I've had a hotel room entirely to myself. And, well, that and Anime Expo. And even Anime Expo, like, they put me in, you know, it wasn't like a shitty hotel, but it was in the middle of the city. It was just a regular room, but it was nice comparatively. But, like, the biggest one I've been to by far was the Crunchyroll one. So I guess that's probably the best one. I haven't had any, like, I'm a cheap ass, so, like, I'm not gonna ever pay for, like, a super nice hotel for myself because it's just a place to sleep. Like, ideally, you're not gonna spend that much time in the hotel. Although, at Crunchyroll Expo, because on the first day of the con, I got really shit-faced hanging out with... Basically, I was drinking from, like, noon when I was hanging out with Giguk, because he and I drank together for, like, 3 hours leading up to us doing our thing. And then I continued drinking, because then I did, like, a panel where somebody brought me a tall boy, and I was drinking that, and then, like, I did, went out to the parties with fucking Miles and Jeff and all those fuck boys, and got royally fucking creamed. So the next day, I had, like, the worst hangover imaginable, and I think I spent maybe 2 hours at the convention, and the rest of the day at the hotel room wanting to die. So, it was nice to have such a nice hotel room to nurse my hangover in, I guess. But, yeah, I can't think of... Well, if I had to say what my best experience in a hotel is, it would be the 2 times that I came up to Rochester to stay with May when we first met, for reasons that should probably be obvious. But neither one was a particularly nice hotel. It was just 2 hotels that were near her house, you know. So yeah, I wish I could remember what any of these were called. Like, of course, I remember the one of the name of the shitty one, Motel 6. I don't remember what the one in Crunchyroll Expo was called. It had a weird name, but I don't remember the weird name. Yeah, I'd like to stay in more nice hotels in the future if more cons want to put me up. That would be nice. I don't really get offers to go to conventions anymore now that I've become known as the most controversial man in AniTube, I guess. So, you know, not that I particularly want to, because traveling's a pain in the ass and cons are largely boring. But, you know, one day I'll probably go back.